You're listening to I-95, Bangor's classic rock station with Jay, Stu, and Corey in the morning. Jay, Stu, and Corey rock.
I-95, Jay, Stu, and Corey on Bangor's classic rock station this morning. On what is starting out to be okay, not really, but will be absolute crap here pretty soon. It's mostly cloudy this morning, rain developing this afternoon. But then, it's funny, then the rain's going to end, and then it's going to start again.
So we get a pause.
Yeah, but while we're sleeping. So who cares?
Wonderful, even better.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
It'll be great when I take my dog out at 4 tomorrow morning. You know, be like, oh, wonderful, it stopped raining for a minute. Till later on, but whatever.
Is that what you make? The noises that you make?
Pretty much. I sound like an old vaudeville star every time I get pissed off. It's like, come on, bucko.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good to know that will be a lovely break while we're all sleeping of the showers that we'll get pretty much from all the way today into all the way tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about that. Pretty much the rest of the week is supposed to rain off and on. Maybe some relief on the weekend, but we'll see.
Super overworked right now, so I was hoping it would let up, but of course it won't.
Well,
so that's all right.
The good news is it's going to be very warm. You know, like, for instance, tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day, but it's supposed to be in the mid-50s.
That's good.
So it's not,
freezing.
It won't take much of a fire to keep your house warm. You know what I mean? If you just sort of backed off into, a log here, log there kind of deal, you could probably limp along.
Yeah, well, it's the dehumidifier in the basement that I'm worried about. That thing's been running pretty nonstop. And
hey, here's a great idea, Corey. Let some humidity in. While we got a chance here, that poor thing.
But that's not what you want in the basement. You don't want humidity in your basement.
Who has humidity in the? I ran it for a while trying to dry out my wood. I was leaving that downstairs, and it would run for days before I had to empty it. So I don't think it's doing it as an appreciable job. All it did was jack my electric bill up by like $100 a month.
Yeah, that's true too. Maybe I'll give everything a break at this point and be like, whatever.
Listen,
okay, fine.
It's March. Just write off this year. You're done.
Yeah, it's true. I'm only 4 months in, but whatever.
Yeah.
We got a battle up now. It's a heaven and hell battle. You picked AC/DC's Hell's Bells, and I've got Kiss's Heaven's on Fire. So you can vote right now, 991-9713. We had a bunch of people head down to the Brit Floyd concert last night, and they were sending me some videos over the the course of the evening. And I think Dennis and our buddy Randy ended up somehow hooked up together in a section, so they had a really good time. So
probably all the tickets that we gave away were right sort of in next to each other, so that would make sense.
Very cool, and we've got an update on the Crazy Train show that we'll pass along to you. So they're opening up and selling more tickets. So it's gonna be a good morning. Let's get it underway. Wet but good, whatever.
We even have some bull riding tickets to give away later on this morning.
Oh, that's right.
So we got a little of everything. Those were a surprise. We did not expect to get any of the PBR tickets necessarily, but boom, here we are. We got 3 pairs to give away over the next couple days. So get ready for that, too. Also, get ready right now for Greg Kinn on I-95. Hi, Jay, Stu, and Corey on Bangor's classic rock station, 95.7 FM. Here on Tuesday. That's what I'm going to call it today. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow will be Wednesday.
Yeah,
Thursday. Friday.
You know what? That just means you've got to be the bright in somebody's day. I know.
Yeah.
And I say you, not so much you, because I know you, and you're not the bright.
The metaphoric you and not the literal you.
The collective you and not you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, all right. That's fine. I'm down with that. No issues there. We have our morning music matchup going right now at the I-95 Facebook page. Like you said just a few minutes ago, it's a heaven and hell battle. I got Hell's Bells. You took Heaven's on Fire, which still implies some sort of hellish overtone.
Well, you're not wrong.
Just saying.
It's just a cool song.
When Slayer's album South of Heaven came out, you really had no misconception about what they were singing about.
Yeah.
Which is funny, for all that hubbub, because Kerry King is coming to town this summer.
That's
with
right.
His new solo project. Slayer actually announced 2 festival dates this year.
I saw that they're getting back together.
Yeah. Well, they're not getting back together. The singer Tom Araya is the one that wanted to retire the most. And he has agreed after apparently constant badgering by his wife for the last 5 years.
That's what I saw, yeah.
Has agreed to do some like one-off dates occasionally. So we'll
she
get
just wants him the hell out of the house. She's like, get up, get out. No, get out.
Can you imagine?
This is not retirement.
Well, you got to think. This lady has spent the better part of her life sitting around doing her thing for years, while he's out on the road doing his thing, right? I'm sure he gets home. He's like, hey, it's great. I'm home from tour, right? I'm sure she's like, yeah, get the hell out of here. It was so awesome when you were gone all the time.
And you know this. I mean, not so much to a degree with your own self, but like there's something to be said for when you're touring, and you've got that energy and you're, like it's who you are. And then you stop. I think sometimes people it kind of can bring them down or whatever, and it can make them kind of a different person because they're dealing with emotional, like, I don't know, a detachment from that way of life. So it might just be that she was like, you need this. You need this to kind of re-energize yourself a little bit. You need a little dose of that. It's
like Metallica. The reason they're doing their tour the way they are is because they recognize that they don't want to be on the road grinding it out, doing, 200 or 300 shows a year. That's why they only play on weekends. So that they can go home the rest of the week. And then they show up for the gigs, and then they go home for the rest of the week. I mean, it's still constant traveling, but, just the same. There comes a point where you're just
their level, and then maybe everybody else's, and which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I've never toured at that level, but what touring I've done is just, everybody thinks, oh, you just sit around all day doing nothing. And it's just like, no, you sit around and suffer all day doing nothing. That's how that goes. But anyway, it is exciting for our little heaven and hell battle today. You want to vote? You can do that right now. At the I-95 Facebook page. You can even call our phone, 991-9713. App, all that stuff.
I got the app open right now. So
we're
at the places. You just have to join us.
Just do it. Right now. I-95. I-95. Jay, Stu, and Corey on Bangor's classic rock station. Look, you're getting old, Corey. You just,
I know.
You're going to deal with it. She's over here like, I'm in my 40s. I get a heating pad. I'm like, oh my God, shush. Like, my wife bought this special thing to wrap around my knee online to try and make that thing feel better with some, like, fancy red light therapy belt, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm willing to try anything to get the old kicker back in motion here, but.
Oh, we got to say good morning to Jimmy. Jimmy has been sending us pictures and messages from Florida all week long so far, and I keep
Stuff it, Jimmy, with your stupid pictures of Florida. Stuff it.
No, do you know how I heard this myself?
You?
My kid came down.
Listen, you breathe, and I watch you throw out a disc. So
I was
whatever.
sound asleep, like super into REM sleep, all excited to just be finally sleeping, and my kid came down, and she had a nightmare, and I was just like, just get in. Just get into bed.
Get in, loser.
No, she gets in the bed, but this is the one that sleeps sideways. And I was trying to comfort her, but I was facing the door like I always do, just, because Mama Bear. I kind of sleep with one eye open. But I wanted to comfort her, so I threw my arm behind me, and I was like, they're there. And immediately was like, ow. And now I'm on a heating pad because I tried to comfort my child in the middle of the night. It's stupid.
When we went to load in our gear for our gig the other night,
way cooler than sleeping, by the way.
Yes, but the driveway of the place where we played was just pure ice. Like comical covered in ice. One of those types of deals. Like the whole time I'm like, I wish I had a camera out here to film all the people that are going to go straight down on their ass before the end of the night, right? So I go to get out of my car, and immediately my foot goes out from under me, and I'm hanging by the door, because otherwise I would have gone face first directly into the driveway. So I'm like hanging there. I'm like, oh, okay, how do I do this? And I'm like trying to put my hand on the ground, but it's ice. So it's like, I hope somebody got a good chuckle out of watching me do that.
Oh, man.
And I got up and did what all 50-year-old men do. I stood there, sort of still for a second, and I'm like, all right, does anything hurt? Like, am I okay? And I was like, yeah. I did a couple of these, and I was like, all right, no, all right, I'm good. I can keep going. Yeah. I was afraid I donated my hip to science or something like that by the time I was
remember
back
when I
on
fell
my feet.
out of the van and slapped my face?
I remind you about it all the time.
Oh, man. Those memories came up on Facebook the other day. I was like, oh, yeah. And then my mom, she hit her head opening, I guess, the trunk of her car. Somehow she caught it on her forehead. And she was like, oh, it bled so much. I'm like, Mom, I was in your driveway like literally 1 year ago, bleeding from the head because I fell on it. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm like, yeah. I feel you.
Graceful
She goes,
family.
I got a big scar. I'm like,
Sure.
so do I. Look at my eyebrow. Yeah. Well, she's a ballerina. She
that
got
waxed her face on the trunk? Yeah.
It popped up. I fell out of the van. Big difference.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's fall into these last votes here for the morning music matchup. Try not to slip on those and break your ankle if you can. Is it going to be
Kiss?
Kiss?
Though, if you need them.
Is it going to be AC/DC? We're going to find out in just a bit. When we come back, we'll have our winner here on I-95. I-95, Bangor's classic rock station. Jay, Stu, and Corey here. AC/DC taking the top spot today. No trouble there.
Yep.
Was it even close?
Was not even.
I was going to say. I didn't even look.
Definitely not close. That's all right. That means that Heaven's on Fire from Kiss is going ahead to the Battle of the Best of the Worst on Friday up against the Eagles' Disco Strangler.
Yeah.
So, going to be one of those great moments.
Whatever. Hopefully the listener battle is equally awkward in every way for tomorrow so that we can just add more awkward. We need like the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald versus like wooden ships.
Oh, my God. Remember for the longest time where I thought that was the other...
Oh, yeah. No, I know. I know. It's all right. We'll let you off this time.
That will be happening tomorrow, our listener battle. We have professional bull riding tickets to give away this morning. We're
going to do that. We'll do it right after this, right in the beginning of the 7 o'clock hour, like Sweet. Right where we always do that. We'll give away some bull riding tickets.
You want to have them do their best yeehaw?
Why not? We'll see. Yes. Yeah. We'll yeehaw. I'll accept yeehaw, yahoo, woo-ha. Hell, we had a foreign exchange student in my high school named Juha. I'll take that. He was from Finland. Juha. That's how his name was spelled.
Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know. I've tried looking him up on Facebook. And it's astounding. Apparently in Finland, the name Juha is about as common as Bob.
Wow.
Because I was just like, Finland's a small country. Like, how many? I even knew his last name. And I was just like, there were like 80 of them. I was like, I haven't seen this kid in 30 or 40 years or whatever it is. There's no way I'm going to recognize him as an adult. But anyway, so Juha, Yahoo, Yeehaw, Wahoo, Woo-ha, whatever you got, Woohoo. But you got to put some effort in. Mm-hmm. You got to rodeo it up a little bit.
Whatever that means to you. Absolutely.
Yeah. So there we go. That's how it's going to happen. So get ready to yeehaw, yahoo, woo-ha, yoo-ha. Coming right up after 7 o'clock right here on I-95. I-95. Jay, Stu, and Corey here this morning on Bangor's classic rock station. Hey is for horses.
Yep. Wanda May's out there. She's liking the tunes that we've got on right now. She says good morning. So good morning to Wanda May. She's digging what we're playing.
Well, W is for Wanda.
Yep. Today. Absolutely. So she's a pal. She's digging it. Do you want to give away some sweet tickets?
I just said, hey is for horses.
Yeehaw.
So there. So whoever, someone is already calling us, so that's exciting. Somebody really wants to go see the Bull Riders. But you have to give us a solid Yahoo, Yuha, Woo-ha, Woohoo, Yeehaw. Are there any I'm missing?
Just all the vowels.
I don't care
if it's into something with some excitement.
I don't care if it's a Michael Jackson hee.
Wow.
But you gotta own it. You gotta own it. I don't want to hear somebody just go woohoo and expect to win these tickets. Like,
yeah, no, they've got to bring the gusto.
There's got to be some volume. I want your phone to choke out on it. I want you to be like woohoo, ooh. So pull that off, and you're going to go see the professional bull riders. 991-9713. Get ready to scream Yahoo into the phone right here on I-95. I-95, who's this?
This is Chris.
Chris, how you doing?
Good.
You want to win some bull riding tickets this morning?
Yeehaw!
I take that as a yes. Does that count as your entry, or are you ready to serious up and give us like a mega yeehaw?
I'm ready to steer your own and give you a mega yeehaw.
Let's do this.
Wow.
Yeehaw!
Yes.
Nice. There was some gut in there.
I'll take it.
That.
Yeah,
That was good.
Yeah, there was definite back of the throat sound going on there. There was good tone. Well done, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go. Chris won himself some bull riding tickets today.
Nice. You want to go check them out? These are tickets for the show on Sunday. The shows, I believe, are going to be going through this entire weekend. Is that not the case? I think it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sounds right to me, because they get the bulls and the riders. Actually, I remember right pre-COVID.
We had the riders in, right?
We had them in, and then when I first started doing the morning show before we went together, but it was all set, but we just hadn't started yet for whatever reason. I had to interview the dude from the bull riders. One of the bull riders came in, and it's funny because also that day that came in right after that was Dr. Jarvis. Basically telling us, this coronavirus thing, it's going to be okay. You don't have to worry that. Like he wasn't downplaying it, but we weren't at the holy crap stage with it yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was just like, it's like a bad cold. You'll be fine.
Which reminds me, we have an anniversary coming up, don't we?
If you want to keep track of that sort of thing, a 4-year anniversary is meaningless.
Hey, now, I think it's fun that we haven't killed each other yet and we're still employed.
How can we kill each other? We're never in the same room.
It's true. That's probably why we haven't killed each other yet.
Works out just fine.
But, yeah, I think because, it was like 4 years ago this month.
Oh, yeah, it was March.
Dr. Jarvis.
Literally, I think, I believe, if I remember correctly, we had our morning show. I went off air. Went upstairs, started doing my thing, started watching the news, and that's when the governor came on and literally shut the state down. Same day. So our first day, by the end of our show, everybody had to stay home.
Yep. The kids that I remember going, oh my gosh, we have to do the show from home. The kids were done with school. Like that was it. They were remote learning from that point on. And then the borders were closed. It was nuts. I'm glad we're not there right now.
I will go on record as saying that the early part of the pandemic was probably the happiest time of my life.
Because you hate people, yes.
No, I was working from home. Like, my wife and I would go on this beautiful walk every day. And, it was just, we played cards. I spent more quality time with my lovely bride than I ever have. And it was delightful. And it was like the Nexus. And I feel like I got kicked out of heaven by the end of 2020.
Yeah.
It was so perfect. My life was just what I'd always wanted it to be. And then, we had to start getting healthy again. Figures.
So sorry that didn't work out for you.
Whatever. Maybe next time.
All right.
Well, congrats to Chris. We'll have more PBR tickets to give away tomorrow. So make sure to listen in during the 7 o'clock hour right here on I-95. I-95, Jay, Stu, and Corey, right here on Bangor's classic rock station. So I'm cruising around on the internet yesterday and realize, as I'm reading this article, excuse me, that Mainers, as much as we complain about Facebook and all the social media and the mainstream media and all that stuff, only one state in the country spends more time on social media than we do.
Who? Which
Oregon.
Really?
Yeah, go figure. It's Oregon. But Massachusetts is right behind us. But, I mean, we're a state of not even 1.5 million people and spend more time on these various social media outlets, I'm assuming just complaining about whatever's being posted, That you know, and I suppose that counts things like our app. That probably counts, you know, obviously on a lesser extent, but you know, but the big ones especially, like, you know, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Mainers, Facebook makes up the largest percentage of the place that we spend the most time too. So, you know, whenever you see floods of comments of people complaining. Apparently you don't see that in other states the way you see it here.
Well, I'm sure, I mean, in situations like this year where it's been so gross and damp and there's not a whole lot else to do, plus I think in those situations where we had the storms and a lot of information was coming out too, I mean, people were on their devices looking for information on, you know, power outages and things like that for a good chunk of time. So I'm not surprised. I think I would be interested to see what the breakdown of what sites and how
I just
those
told
were
you.
used. Yeah,
Facebook takes the biggest chunk. Right behind it is Instagram and Twitter, you know, and so on and down the line.
Mostly, what the actual content is, you know. Oh,
well, that would be mega hard to probably calculate. You know what I mean? Because people bounce
people doing it
all over the place. You know, like I'm on Facebook 1 minute, I go to Instagram, I go back to Facebook. You know, I'm all over the place all the time.
I can't. I'm just one. I'm one and done. I can't do any of the others. I'm just like.
Well, see, I like Instagram because it's like Facebook without the bull crap. I mean, yes, if you look at enough Instagram pages that are like flat earth and stupid stuff like that, then yeah, eventually you'll start to see more of that in your feed. But like mine, if you scroll my Instagram feed, it's endless videos of drummers just playing drums.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas you go on Facebook, it's just a hot wasteland of like whatever garbage Facebook is throwing at me today.
That's true too. Yeah.
So
for me, it's wrinkle cream and boob lifts. That's all I keep getting. Wrinkle cream and boob lifts.
Why can't they make a cream that'll lift your boobs?
Right? Like I'm all about that.
There you go.
I'd be all about that. But
There's
I also
your
like,
next money-making adventure. Videos of how to apply the cream properly.
Well, actually, I think they do have one. That's one of the latest ones that's made me laugh, is that thing pops up and it's like, just apply this cream and then do these like squeezy. And I'm like, no.
Nice.
No, I don't think so.
It gives a whole new meaning to boob lift. I can see it. It's like, you just put little weights on them right here and you're like, here.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you have strong boobs.
Yeah,
I'll get in on that.
I wish the algorithm didn't take it there. I'm always like, come on, man! Like when you already feel like somewhat disappointed in everything that you have going on, when Facebook reinforces that, it's like, come on. So I shouldn't even be on that.
Stupid Facebook. Anyway, read about it right now. We got the whole thing over at i95rocks.com or the app.
I-95, Bangor's classic rock station at 95.7 FM. I95rocks.com, over at the app. Good morning to all. Thanks for joining us. It's Jay, Stu, and Corey. Did you notice? Oh, you probably haven't driven by the old Y yet.
I drove by maybe a week ago.
Okay. Oh, it's not there anymore.
Well, when I went by a week, right, I know, but I mean, a week ago when I went by, they had put the fence up and they were delivering the equipment to do the job and stuff like that. But man, I gotta say, I guess it had to be torn down. I just feel like, was the building just that far gone that they couldn't do anything with it to sort of bring it back?
I don't think anything's been in there really since they shut it down and moved operations over to to where they are now. It sucks because that's where I remember the very small period of time that I was actually in shape as a human being.
Right.
took place in that building. And it was not a terrible facility, but then when they moved everything over, and I think it was a gym for a little bit, and then it sat there, and I think it's just kind of been
I'm just surprised nobody could think of anything to do with it. You know, I'm surprised some sort of developer didn't come in and be like, hey, I'm going to buy this building and rehab it into low-income housing. I don't know. You know what I'm making that up. Right. Just, anything. But whatever, it's gone now. Who cares?
It's gone now. I'm curious to see what the city has in store for it. I've got a couple of calls in to see, what is the plan for this?
Is it
it's got to be a big chunk of change.
Is it private property or is this owned by the city?
Well, I believe it's the city that took it down, but we're, going to answer those questions when I get a hold of whoever the powers that be are and
what I
figure
want
out
to know
what's happening that way.
is what happened to the YWCA. You know, because if you go over now, the Y, what I knew to be the YW when I was a kid, is now the YMCA. Which is funny because all they did was take the W from on the old wrought iron sign out front and just flip it, which I thought was magnificent. You know, but does the YWCA even exist as an organization anymore?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google it.
There you go. We'll just hang out here and eat popcorn while Corey Googles on the air.
Well,
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the answer to that, so I will find out.
Because when I was a kid, I remember there was sort of like not opposing, but there was a program at the YMCA run by this older guy named Doc. But over at the YWCA, there was also a program run by a guy that went by Pop, which is where I went when I was a kid. Pop was the coolest dude. He was this black guy from like down south somewhere. Not like deep south, but from, the city. He was from a more urban area than here, obviously. But man, that guy was not just amazing with kids, but amazing with parents. Like, it could be your first day at camp. And when your parents show up to pick you up, he would call you by name and say, your mom so-and-so is here to pick you up. Like, he was that good. Just crazy. Ran a tight ship. It was awesome. I have a lot of great memories from that from when I was a kid.
That's awesome. The YW as an organization does still exist in all 50 states, they say. But I don't, it's obviously not here in the Bangor area anymore.
Nope. Yeah, whatever. And maybe it's in Portland. Maybe it's in Reedfield. I don't know. Could be anywhere.
No longer if you drive by the old YMCA building as you come down, Hammond Street and Union, that area. It's gone. They leveled it yesterday.
So you've got pictures and stuff you'll put up, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, look out for those. Those are going to pop soon over at i95rocks.com or the app. When we get back, of course, there's more to get to as far as website stuff, but also 95-minute classic rock free ride. We're just an hour away here on I-95.